Joining us now is Barrister Evans Ufeli. He's an attorney at law and good governance advocate, and he joins us from Atlanta in the U.S. Evans, many thanks for doing this with us. You've heard what the ministers had to say, and this is essentially to lead us to May 29th, and which is going to be the second anniversary for this president's administration. What are your thoughts?
Well, we have not seen the desired development that is required of this government. Okay, and the president have consistently pushed the ministers forth to the people, to brief the people, to brief the Nigerian people about what they are doing and not doing in order to better the lives of the people. While that is commendable and good, I think that these ministers have no mandate of the people. It is the president whom we are going to hold responsible. Because the last year, they did something, and I was looking at this practice. Is it an innovation or some kind of display of joke? Because the thing they said last year that they are doing what they have done, the manifestation has not still been seen. Okay, we've not seen development until today. We are going to 2 years now. This government have not built any block of development. Last week, they told us that Nigeria is now have left the 4th position of the largest economy in Africa, and we are now number 1. Meanwhile, in January, they told us that Nigerian economy is growing slowly, that it will take a lot for it to come back to shape. Whilst we're number 4. Now they just all of a sudden they turn around and say we're now number 1. Why that is, that should be investigated, because the World Bank and IMF came up with that. I don't understand it. So the bottom line of my thought is that, right, the ministers can say what they are doing, express what they are doing, about to do to the people, but it is not the ministers that were voted into office. The president is the one that holds the mandate. And so whether they are telling us the right things or the wrong things, the president should still be held responsible for the actions and inactions of this minister, because he appointed them based on the mandate that the people gave to him. And he should stop pushing forth. You know, he started this even during his campaign when he went to Chatham House. Started pushing people forth to talk on his behalf to the people. And he replicated it post-election with his ministers last year, and now he's repeating the same thing. I hope at the end of the day, when they begin to fail, we will not be asked to go and we will not be told that these people told you what they were doing and what they were not doing at that time. I just want us to be on record on this issue.
Right. I mean, critics have also, just like yourself, drawn a line between declared stewardship and the actual impact of government policy on the people. And how has this government hit the mark for you in the last 2 years?
In the last 2 years, I have not seen any meaningful development. All I have seen in the last 2 years is the NNPCL and Dangote battling a battle of supremacy. I have seen poverty at the last 19 months have been the most horrible 19 months in the history of this country. Okay, inflation hits a mark that is unbelievable. Okay, poverty rules, the misery index is unbearable, is incredible. Okay, so the cost of living, food items, staples, has gone out of reach completely. Okay, so now people are not just battling with survival. Some people are bleeding. You know, some, in exchange for that, they have gone into heinous crimes. Okay? So the country is not in a place where you send ministers to go and talk to the people. The country is not in that place where you send ministers to go and talk to the people. The country is in a place where you have to organize media chats every week. Every week. Just like the fake meeting, wherein you bring the people exactly, because you see, whether the mandate was given or stolen, all the same is a mandate. So somebody has occupied that position with promises, and that promises must be fulfilled. That promises must be fulfilled. Because yesterday, they gathered to launch a book. All those who destroyed the country, they gathered and faced us, and they were telling us that the election was actually not, and they were apportioning blame to the dead. Who's going to speak for the dead? What I'm trying to say by this digression is that these ministers who are saying all this, all they are doing and all that, should come with evidence. The president should present that evidence to the Nigerian state, because we are suspicious of what they are saying, and the president's diversionary approach to this by putting forth ministers to interface with the people directly is not a safe thing to do, because this is suspect. And I'm saying this clearly on national TV that at the end of time, the president will still be held responsible, and he must account for the 4-year term that was given to him, for which he promised to change the lives of Nigerians from removing subsidy to the day he leaves office, because the lives of the average Nigerians declined terribly.
I mean,
the moment he took the oath of office.
Evans, as we talk about the promises of this administration, one of them is they ran on the manifesto or the agenda of renewed hope. And that seems to be a recurring rhetoric for members of this administration. Has the government hit the mark for you in the last 2 years regarding that promise? And if they've not, in terms of, I mean, you say that they have not in addressing the question of hunger and widespread poverty, how then can they, turn is it too late to turn the tides?
Well, it's not too late in the day. They talk about renewed hope, but the people are hoping against hope. You see, hope is not enough, and hope is not a strategy. Okay, hope is not an economic policy. So don't tell us about renewed hope. Give us indices. Get to the root of the problem of the average Nigerian, which has to do with hunger, inability to feed. The worst thing that can happen to you is when you are unable to feed in your own country. It means that the government has failed completely. I mean, there are dreams and aspirations of the human person, wherein if you are not able to achieve these lofty dreams, you should at least fall back to the capacity of survival and the ability to feed yourself. We have also lost that. Is that bad? That's what I'm saying. So this government should go to the root of the problem, and that is to use the 744 local government as a way to come about this and find a creative way to reach the people, from this 744 local government by creating grassroots programs, okay, that will hand over maybe soft loan credits to business people, and that same trader money, whatever money they did pre-election, that is where they're supposed to go back to now. Okay. If it was not for vote buying, they should have continued it. Okay. But they are not doing that. They should go back to the welfare packages and programs.
Evans, I must say thank you for taking out the time to join us today. Evans Ufeli, the attorney at law and good governance advocate, joining us live from Atlanta, United States of America.